Some of the biggest fortunes in the US have been made in the hedge fund industry. Paul Singer of Elliott Management is one of the signatories of the Giving Pledge, a promise to give half of his net fortune to charity. One of the things that's interesting about looking about your philanthropy is how often it bleeds into policy work. There seems to be a continuum of work all the way down to actually putting money into making sure that gay marriage is passed in certain states and particular politicians are protected. Do you have in your head a distinction between philanthropy and your political donations, or is it all part of the same bucket in your mind?
Well, it's not part of the same bucket, but I think that the effective philanthropist, and partially what I'm about to tell you arises from my prior background before 1977 as a lawyer. I practiced law for 7 years, graduated Harvard Law School in 1969, and so the lawyer's mind of analyzing complicated situations and coming up with solutions. But the hedge fund mentality is open, opportunistic, flexible, creative, trying to use every tool in the tool chest. And so as I became more organized and more able not just to write out a check, but to make something happen or get something done, I realized that bringing, not every situation is the same, but bringing all of the tools in the tool chest to bear on a problem could be exponentially impactful. In the gay rights fight, I was a long-term struggle. I was donating under the radar screen for many years with the advice and consent of my son and then my son-in-law. And when we all thought that it was okay for a right-wing Republican to be visibly a strong supporter of the gay rights movements, and we built relationships, I built relationships with the significant players in the gay activist community, what I realized is that bringing to bear the political relationships that I had built over a long period of time, the policy relationships, and putting sort of everything together could be tremendously impactful, as it turned out to be in the New York State gay marriage ultimate victory. I'm not a huge fan of applying metrics to every situation. Sometimes you struggle and you achieve and it's visible, but it's not so measurable. We started a group called Startup Nation Central based in Israel to attract entrepreneurs, potential entrepreneurs, to interact with the fantastic Israeli ecosystem of startups, entrepreneurship, more entrepreneurs packed in that little country than per unit of population than I believe any place else in the world. But the impact of that in trying to foster growth, solving people's problems in developing and developed countries, and connect them with each other and with Israeli entrepreneurs, scientists, technologists, startups. The impact of that is not so measurable. I think it's good for philanthropists who are interested in impact. Sure, you want to, every business person, and I'm a business person, wants to measure impact, the impact of their philanthropy. But I have this other dimension of a hedge fund person, and I realize that you have to keep twisting the ring on the kaleidoscope and see the pattern as it changes, and to keep adjusting the strategy and the tactics for impact, and sometimes, quite frequently, you don't get to see exact cause and effect. We like cause and effect as business people, but philanthropy isn't necessarily like that.